Hello, Chaos Crew. Are you ready to get started on getting organized? I don't care what your chaos is or what area of your life you have chaos in, it can be organized. And I'm going to show you step by step how to get started and organize any area of your life. You ready? Let's go. All right, Chaos Crew, so here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to be using Tula Xii's to-do list insert. If you don't have this insert or this isn't the route that you want to go, that's okay. You can still do this with a notebook. Walmart, Dollar Tree, Walgreens, any of those stores will sell a composition book or notebook, anything like that. I encourage you to get a notebook that is dedicated to this project, just because it kind of keeps everything together, and this is going to be a continual work on progress. So real quick, let me just show you what the to-do insert looks like and what we'll be working with and why I chose this particular insert. Basically, all it is lines and boxes. Now, why I chose this particular insert is because the way that I'm going to do this, like I have my my steps, and so I wanted something super simple that I can fit into what I do. And that's why I say that this can easily be done with a notebook, composition book, anything like that. Super easy. You could even get a binder and put loose leaf paper in and then, pull them out as you go, whatever. Make it you. That's what we're always about. But for me, I have an organization plan, and so I wanted the insert to fit into my plan, and so I needed it to be super simple, and lines and check boxes works for me. You could also use the to do now and later insert. You could use the well noted insert. The anything would really work. There's even the spreadsheet insert for those of you that may be a little bit more meticulous and looking for that kind of spreadsheet feel. You'll have the different columns and rows, so you can do multiple stuff. For my purposes, again, like I said, I'm going to do the to-do list. So here's how this works. To get started, you need to know where you are and where you're going. And to be able to do that, I always recommend a brain dump to-do list, right? So it doesn't matter how organized you are or where you're at in your life. All of us have some chaos. I mean, if you don't, please do me a favor, comment below and let me know what your secret, your magic pill, whatever it is, because there isn't anyone else that I know in this whole world that couldn't use a little decluttering, organizing, better planning, time management, any of those things. So no matter where you're at, we need to find out where you are and where you want to go. Same thing with like goals and things like that. So what I recommend doing is, for this particular project, what I'm going to be doing is a weekly brain dump into my list. And so what it's going to look like is I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes, and I'm going to take my handy dandy pen gem, also got from Tula Xii, and I am just going to write down every single thing that comes to my mind that I feel that I need to do or want to do. And it could be anything. I haven't started to think of my list, but I can know off the top of my head, weather's starting to get nice, summer's here, I'm ready to go to the beach, so I'm, write that down. Go to the beach. There's video ideas that I have. There's, you know, my office needs to be organized. I've been talking about this. So that needs to be organized. Now that's a bigger project and completely, totally different than, you know, going to the beach or, you know, getting a haircut. You know, that's the next one of the, you know, the next things on the list is now that hair salons and that are opening back up. And you start thinking about, you know, getting just a little trim for the summer so that got that fresh hair. You know, think of all those things. All of those things that when you're like, okay, what am I going to do today? And all those thoughts that flood your head, what I want you to do is I want you to dump them all onto a piece of paper. Whether you do it in a scattered bubble way or you do a list like this. For me, this is what works best. And by the way, we do have one of those little bubble inserts. So if that is your kind of style for brain dumps, then go right ahead. Now I am going to dedicate this insert to this particular project, and this is going to become my master to-do list. So we're going to take a break. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes, and I'm going to go, and we'll be back. All right, so now that you have your list, the next thing we want to do is we want to categorize the list. Now, what are some of the things that I have on my list? I have organized the office, organized the storage room, kind of like my pantry storage room, mail my nephew's birthday gift. His birthday was a little over a week ago now, and I didn't order his gift early enough, and because of the delays in the shipping world, his package, the package with his gift, didn't come until after his birthday, and I put it all together. I just need to go to the post office, so I put that on here. One of the other things is I gotta go get a birthday card too, which is why I haven't, you know, mailed it. Renew my Well Woman membership, organize the chest freezer, clean out / wipe out the refrigerator, do a deep dusting of the house, wash the windows inside, write a book, get a new phone, buy tomato cages, visit my family up north, make a compost bin, go to the beach, make meals in a jar. So you can see wide variety of things. Some are things that are like, you know, cleaning the house kind of things, whether it's a, you know, simple-ish project like cleaning out and wiping down everything on the inside of the refrigerator, or something bigger like deep dusting the house top to bottom, organizing the office, where something else might be a little bit simpler like buy tomato cages. So what I want to do is I want to break this down into categories of, is this something that I need to do immediately? Is this a single one-time task? Is this a bigger project that needs to be broken down into smaller tasks? You know, that. So what I did in the front is I made a little bit of a key, and I'm using the infamous yellow highlighter for anything that needs to be done immediately. And I'm gonna do this. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like, where there was mailing his gift, buying the birthday card, buying the tomato cages, and renewing that membership. Those are things that need to be done right away, so I put them in yellow. Then the next thing that I did was I categorized the big projects. Anything that's a big project that needs to be broken down into a smaller one, I took my pink highlighter and highlighted that. So things like make meals in a jar, visit family up north, deep dust the house, organize the office, those things are highlighted pink. And I'm gonna do another video on what exactly I'm going to do with those project things and how to break those down into simpler tasks so that you're not overwhelmed, which is a big reason on why I suggest, you know, not only is it to give you direction on where to go. So like, for example, you know, sometimes like today's my day off. I have so much to do. Well, what are my priorities? You know, being able to look at this list and seeing what I've prioritized and scheduled kind of helps me to stay on task and helps to make sure that things get done and to be just a little bit more efficient. So the next thing that I did was I took all the stuff that's not highlighted. Those are all those like single action kind of things, like organize the chest freezer. Basically that's going to be just, you know, moving some things around so that it'll be a little bit easier to find, because right now that's a hot mess. We were just buying and throwing it in there. Something like washing the windows on the inside, get a new phone, clean out my truck. So those are kinds of things that are just going to be like, you know, one-time thing that I need, that I had on my list. So anyways, so here's what I did for those things is I used ABC, and I'll show you my key here, and I know that this is backwards, but A is for this week, B is for this month, and C is unscheduled. C means, you know what, it's not something that needs to be done right now, not necessarily even this month, but it is something that is on my mind that's at some point going to need to be done. Like, for example, buy a new phone. There's days where I think today is the day and I need to do it immediately, and then there's times where I'm like, why do I need a new phone? This one works perfectly fine. Like yesterday when I actually recorded this whole video project, which is kind of why everything was already highlighted and marked as I'm showing it to you, is because this is my second time doing the video. I spent the time, did the video yesterday, and then when I went to upload it onto YouTube, it was gone. It didn't save. And it has a lot to do with running out of memory on this phone, and it's just not a good enough phone to be making videos and editing them and uploading them onto YouTube and the apps that I'm using for it. I just don't have enough available space on this phone, and you know, I've had to remove some other apps that I'm bummed about not having on there, but anyways. Which is actually a good thing because that video was about 30 minutes long. So I want to keep going. Alright, so that's what I did was ABC. Now, the next step is to then pull out your calendar. I use the week undated, and go to this week, and anything you gave an A to, schedule it in your book. When are you going to do it? Today I scheduled to get the tomato cages and to clean out my truck. Now, what I would recommend if you do this is when you write the ABC, use it in pencil. That way you can, you know, change it, or you know, so like this one was a this week, and then I was like, I came outside and I looked at the garden and I was like, oh, I need those now. So get your A items scheduled into this week. That's the first priority. The next thing is to look at the B's and schedule them into the next 30 days. Now, if you get to today, like let's say I have a lot of things to do today, it's my day off, a bunch of errands, and one of the things that I had scheduled for today was to clean out my truck. One of my A's. Let's say that the day is rolling along and we get to the point where it's like, you know what, that's just not going to fit in today. You have to go and reschedule it. And that's why at the end of the day, right before I get too comfy, sitting down and relaxing to get ready for bed, I'll go and I'll look at my list. What did I want to do today, and what did I not get done? If I didn't get something done and it needs to get done, can I still do it? Can I reschedule it for first thing in the morning, or is there a different day that I need to reschedule it? When you are rescheduling, before I get to that, another tool that I use is the calendar on my phone. So I did put them in my book. As you can see, these are some of my A's are written out. When I put them in there, I also put them in the calendar in my phone, because then I can set a reminder for it for at that time. So let's say, for example, that I want to if you struggle with completing tasks, getting things done, time management, different things like that, then what I would recommend is that second step of also scheduling it in your phone and setting the reminder for it. So that means you have to give it a specific time. I want you to think of that as a commitment, an appointment that you set. So say, for example, clean out the truck. Let's say that I set it in my phone for 2 o'clock this afternoon, and I set the reminder to go off at 2 o'clock, or maybe even 10 minutes before, so that I can, finish anything else that I'm doing to do that. So I set it 10 minutes before 2. That alarm goes off at 1:50 in the afternoon, and I stop and go, you know what? I'm knee deep in cutting up beef for beef jerky for the dehydrator. I can't stop right now and go, clean out my truck. So I will reschedule it right there on my phone. And that holds me accountable to that appointment. And that was a huge thing that I did for a while to really get better self-disciplined in completing tasks that need to get done that I wasn't prioritizing. So there's a quick little tip for you on that. All right. So I scheduled it in my book, scheduled the next 30 days and the things I'm going to get done there. And even if you're just writing it in your calendar, in your, in your planner, write it down and look at this every day and make this a commitment. That's huge. I can't say any more about that. So that's what we're going to do for this portion of getting started. It kind of helps you to say, okay, here's all the things that I can think of that I need to do. And if you do think of something, I've got some squirrels over there playing, but if you do think of something and 2 days from now you're like, oh, go ahead and write it in your book. Carry this in your purse if you need to, or in your organizer, or have it somewhere where it's easily handy, where you, like maybe on your desk, something like that. But write it down. Don't have to wait until that, 10-minute brain dump time to write it down. Write it down anytime that you think of it. And then right away, either, give it an ABC, or if it needs to be, color-coded and moved on to the next step. All right, I hope that this helps you to get started getting organized. Please let me know what you thought and what specific areas do you need your chaos organized. Comment below and let us know. And if you loved this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you liked it, I am sure someone else that you know will like it too. So don't forget to share, and we'll see you again tomorrow.